Mother's Day is supposed to be about remembrance. It's supposed to be about honor and dedication for the mothers out there who have sown into their children over the years. But imagine that as a mother, instead of flowers, written cards, and dinner, you receive the worst possible news of your life. And then from that point forward, Mother's Day becomes tied to a horrific frozen moment in time for the rest of your days. It's Mother's Day morning, May 9th, 2021, and the Bailey family is up preparing breakfast for their mother. Stacy Bailey, mother of 5, is going on about her morning per usual when the family begins to notice that someone is missing. The youngest of the siblings, 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey, is nowhere to be found. They search all over, but there's no sign of her anywhere. By 10 a.m., they place a call to the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office to report her missing. And less than an hour later, investigators have taken to social media asking for help on their community Facebook page. Within their town, the news of Tristyn's disappearance spreads like wildfire among the families. The bright and youthful cheerleader that everyone knew in the neighborhood was missing. Many families abandoned whatever Mother's Day plans they'd made to aid in the search for Tristyn and offered to help in any way they could. Many tips were sent in to the sheriff's office of locations like tunnels and pathways where teens often gathered where she might be, but every tip turned up nothing. They also asked the community for any surveillance they might have from cameras and doorbell ring surveillance that could help. At 4:49 p.m., the Florida law enforcement launched a missing child alert for Tristyn, hoping to cast a wider search net. However, this search did not last very long at all. At 6:06 p.m., a resident walking through the neighborhood found 13-year-old Tristyn's body near a retention pond east of the Saddlestone Drive cul-de-sac. 2 hours later, an emotional statement was made to the public that made the discovery official. The missing case was now a murder mystery case. As investigators worked to gather clues, one of Tristyn's friends came forth and told them that he'd felt guilty because he invited her over to his home the night before she was discovered missing. But he'd also invited another one of his friends. That friend was Aiden Fucci, age 14. Aiden told the police, once interviewed, that he and Tristyn left the friend's house together just after 1 a.m., walking north along North Durban Parkway. This claim was substantiated by CCTV footage from a local center that captured them together walking at 1:14 a.m. on May 9th. And at 1:45 a.m., a home surveillance camera on Saddlestone Drive shows the two teens walking east on the sidewalk.
Tristyn Bailey in the hours before her death. This is the newly released evidence in the case against the teen charged with killing the St. Johns County teenager. The sheriff's office released those surveillance videos today as part of the investigation into Bailey's murder.
And they also shared footage from 14-year-old Aiden Fucci's home. Investigators say it's evidence in the case against him. News4JAX reporter Bree Isom talked with a local lawyer about this newly released evidence. Bree?
I did, and he says that this will be a long investigation, but he did say that this home surveillance video probably really helped in this investigation. This video at 12:15 a.m. on May 9th shows two people believed to be teens walking east on Saddlestone Drive. As to whether or not that is Aiden Fucci and Tristyn Bailey in this video, that is not confirmed. This was on Mother's Day, the same day investigators say Tristyn Bailey was found dead. The St. Johns County Sheriff's Office investigators say this video shows Fucci running at 1:52 in the morning, so over an hour after two teens were spotted walking in the neighborhood. John Holzbauer, a law partner at the offices of Randy Reep, is not affiliated with this case, but looked over the surveillance video with me.
It's going to continue to take time. They're going to have to build this literally minute by minute.
Another video at 3:31 a.m. shows a boy walking to a door barefoot with a pair of shoes. Another shows what appears to be the same person walking up to the house. Just about 12 hours after Fucci was spotted running in the street, we see his mother, Crystal Smith, wash what investigators say are blue jeans. The arrest report states the jeans tested positive for blood. It also states the sink in the bathroom where we see Smith washing the jeans also tested positive for blood. Smith has been charged with evidence tampering in connection with this case.
Does that mean someone's trying to conceal evidence? That's a mother doing her son's laundry. At least that's what we see right now, just from the video without the added audio.
Holzbauer says all of the individuals in the house, which we have blurred, will be interviewed for detectives to discover what was actually said and done in the household that day.
According to prosecutors, in the short 2-hour window between the footage at 1:45 a.m. and Aiden arriving home at 3:30 a.m., he viciously attacked Tristyn with a knife and then threw it into the pond near her body. An autopsy revealed that Tristyn had been stabbed more than 100 times, with many of them being defensive wounds, with the tip of the knife actually breaking off in one of her wounds. And on the following day, that Sunday afternoon, while Tristyn's family and community were out searching for her, Aiden's mother, Crystal Lane Smith, was washing the blood out of her son's jeans in the bathroom sink. Crystal Smith was charged with tampering of evidence, which is a third-degree felony. Aiden was tried as an adult, but ended up pleading guilty to first-degree murder, in which he was sentenced to life in prison. This was appealed by his lawyer, and these proceedings are still ongoing. His mother, Crystal, only received 30 days in jail and 5 years probation for the part she played in trying to help a murderer avoid conviction. How's that for justice? And I understand that there are families that live in communities where they feel like this sort of thing could never reach them, that it would never happen where they live. But this should be a reminder that this can happen to anyone, especially when your 13-year-old daughter is out at 1 and 2 a.m. in the morning. And you're probably wondering the same thing I was, which was why? What was the reason? This was a cold-blooded murder. From all the evidence and videos I've seen on this case, there have been testimonies from friends and teens that said Aiden once told them that he was going to murder someone in the woods and stab them to death. And that's pretty much what happened that night. Police collected a lot of evidence from his room that would suggest that he had these types of thoughts, or at the very least, he was a troubled kid. So I don't doubt that if it wasn't Tristyn Bailey that night, it would have been someone else. But that boy was definitely going to find a victim. And for you to even bring a knife out of the house that night meant that this was premeditated, 1000% premeditated. He stabbed that girl over 100 times. She died a gruesome, horrible, terrible, painful death. My mother used to tell me that demons aren't the scary things you see in movies with horns and red eyes and deep voices. That they actually walk among us and look just like you and I. And I believe that's what Aiden Fucci is. May the soul and spirit of Tristyn Bailey rest in peace.